joining us today. We're thrilled to have you be a part of this webinar. Today's speaker, Janine Fulton, is an author, educator, speaker, and business owner. After completing her Bachelor of Science degree in marketing in 1994, Janine pursued a career in the field of cosmetology. She also received a Master of Business Administration degree in 1999. Soon thereafter, she combined her marketing and cosmetic flair and became a consultant for one of the world's leading salon services companies. In 2004, she decided to branch out on her own and started Persona Market Enterprises, a company that focuses on improving brands through education and training. Janine is also the author of Industry Insight, 101 Top Beauty Careers, a one-of-a-kind guide that explores the variety of career opportunities that exist in the beauty profession. Without further ado, I give you Janine Fulton. Janine, are you there?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm here. Let's start the slideshow. Well, I'd like to just welcome everyone again, and I hope that you all are excited about today's webinar. It's called Imagine, and if you're like me, I daydream a lot. And how do we take those daydreams and everything that we're thinking about and wondering about regarding our careers and where we are and actually put it into action? And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I hope that you all are excited and pumped up, and let's go ahead and get started. Jenny mentioned to you that the name of my company is Persona Market Enterprises, and I've been in business since 2004, and I work with individuals as well as organizations. And we do education and training based on professional development skills, non-technical, but I have a strong connection with the beauty industry because that's where my passion truly is. Well, let's start by talking about the importance of developing a brand. And I'm pretty sure that many of you all have favorite brands. We have our favorite brand of toothpaste, our favorite brand of soap, laundry detergent. As a professional beauty industry person, you have your favorite brand of products, whether it be something regarding aesthetics or hair. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's a massage oil that you possibly use. You kind of lose it if your brand is not available. If you go to work and all of a sudden they were to wipe out what you were previously using and replace it with something else that you knew nothing about, got rid of your favorite brand, I'm pretty sure you'd be really upset. A brand is extremely important. It's something that we associate with. People attach themselves to it, and it becomes a part of our daily lives. And it's important to establish a brand as a beauty industry professional because as a beauty professional, we need to have people attach themselves to us in order to be successful. So there are four things that I want to raise on this slide, and it's number one is developing positive communication skills. Number two, it helps you to get loyal clients. Number three, a brand is important because it helps someone to gain a competitive edge. And number four, it helps to build your confidence level. So these are four reasons that developing a brand is important. You might think, well, how does a brand help me to develop positive communication skills? Well, how many of you have iPhones or something by Mac? Maybe it was an iPad or maybe it's a MacBook. For people who like Mac or Mac products or Apple products. They like it because it works. It's known not to have viruses. It's known not to have issues and trouble, because that's the communication that the company has actually executed through their culture. So when you think about it in terms of the beauty industry, you think, well, what is it that I can communicate? What does my brand communicate? So establishing that helps you to communicate what you'd like to communicate to your clients and to different companies, to different organizations. For example, there was a young lady who had just graduated from cosmetology school, and she was looking to go and work in a salon. Her name was Brandy, and Brandy had what I call an edge. She had a competitive edge, actually, but Brandy loved tattoos and piercings. She was a phenomenal stylist, very nice young girl. However, her brand did not fit in to the standard salon brand. A full-service salon and day spa didn't fit there. Your chain salons like a Sport Clips or Supercuts, she didn't really fit in there either. Where was Brandy going to actually go and work? Well, turns out that Brandy ended up working at a salon in Florida, and the Florida salon was actually attached to a tattoo shop who actually was getting ready to film their first reality TV show. I can't remember the name of it, but she found a brand that matched her personal brand, because what she was communicating when she was going in and trying to get a job with these other places was, I'm different from you. And she was different. And we'll talk about later why being yourself is key in developing a personal brand. But having those communication skills, your brand can actually speak for itself. And that's the point that I want to get across. And it's extremely important to make sure that your brand is going to communicate what it is that you as an individual represent. A brand can definitely get you loyal clients. I am such, let's just say, I don't want to say a fanatic, but I like to run. Okay, I'll be truthful. I like to run, walk. But I do like to do things to keep me in shape. I will not wear Asics. I will not wear Adidas. I won't wear Converse. I won't wear Walmart brand, Target brand. I am strictly a Nike shoe wearer. I am a loyal client to Nike because that's the brand that I associate with. I'm a loyal client and have been a loyal Nike wearer for years. Ever since Michael Jordan came to my high school in 19 such and such. I sounded old on that bio, by the way, Jenny. Just have to let you know. Those dates, I think I might take them off.
That's funny.
But, you know, a brand does help you to get loyal clients. Number 3, gaining a competitive edge. Our industry is very, very competitive. But I'll tell you a good thing. Our industry has room for everyone to be as successful as they want to be. There's no scarcity mentality when it comes to success. Many times we think that, but that's not necessarily true. But what a brand will do is give you that competitive edge. So all those things that you're imagining that you want to do with your career, you can do it. But in order to get there, you have to make sure that you establish your brand and your brand identity. With that, you will have the confidence that you need in order to succeed. So as I move to the next slide, I want you all to put on your thinking caps. Today, I want you to just put on your imaginary thinking cap. So let me just do a quick exercise for everyone who's on the webinar. I'd just like for everyone to close their eyes. Don't fall asleep. Just close your eyes Hopefully you're not driving. If you're driving, keep your eyes open. But close your eyes for a couple of seconds. And I just want you to imagine yourself being more successful than you already are. What does it look like? Are you busier? Do you have more clients? Are you in a different location? Do you have more days off? Do you have better work-life balance? Are you selling lots of product? Okay, open your eyes. So I hope that some of you were able to get a visual picture of what your successful daily operation looks like. So now that you have your thinking cap on, I want you to agree to do this throughout this presentation, and I want you to keep that visual of success in your mind as we go through these slides. And after you complete today's webinar, I'm going to ask you to just take some notes, write it down, and refer back to it once it's posted on the website, and just reiterate everything that we talked about here today, because it can only help you. This information is only helpful. So if you follow it and you think about it and you study it, it will help you to move to the next level. So let's keep going. Now everybody's got their thinking cap on. I have mine on. I want to talk to you about 4 areas of branding within the beauty industry. There are 4 areas to help you be successful. So we just talked about why a brand is important, but there are 4 key factors to help you be successful. Before I go over these 4 factors, I want to first ask if anyone has any questions thus far.
I haven't seen anything come through just yet.
Okay. And if it does, Jenny, you can just always stop me.
Okay.
But the first key factor is a positive attitude. Ooh! Now that's my hardest feat right there, is a positive attitude. You mean every day have a positive attitude for every single client, even the one I want to burn with the curling iron? Yes, you have to have a positive attitude. And we've learned this and we know it, but it's very difficult. I was in a very top-notch salon in Tennessee, and I was getting my hair colored. And I'm kind of friends with one of the owners, and her receptionist came to the back and started talking about a scheduling conflict that another client was causing. And by doing this, she was kind of sort of walking a thin line of having a negative attitude towards the customer, and other people could hear it. And even though I was a customer, but I really didn't view myself as a customer, I took the role of consultant. I felt like Tabitha Takeover. I thought to myself, this is horrible. I can't believe this is happening, not in my friend's salon. This negative attitude, this unprofessionalism, talking on the floor about other clients, it still happens. Even though we know to do better, many times we don't. But it's a choice that you have to make every single day, multiple times a day, to have a positive attitude. How do you consistently have a positive attitude? Do something for yourself. Set small goals. Reward yourself. Keep in mind that golden rule that we learned in kindergarten. Treat people how you want to be treated. And keep your hands to yourself. That was another one I remember. But just keep in mind that a positive attitude can take you definitely further than a negative attitude. And simply smile. When you can't think of anything good to say and you're on the verge, just simply smile. Many times we don't even have to say anything. A facial expression can tell it all. So remember to just keep a smile on your face and to sometimes you have to take a break and you have to go and regroup, but do whatever you possibly can to keep that positive attitude each and every day that you're at work. Number 2 is your persona, and we'll get into your persona in just a second. Your persona, your personal experiences, your attitude, the way you walk, the way you talk, your culture, your personal culture, your beliefs, your values, all that falls underneath your persona. So that's another key factor of building a great brand. Number 3 is your industry knowledge, and 4 is dreams, DREAMS. I hope you all can see that. Jenny, can you see it, or is my screen?
I can see it.
Okay, good. So my control panel is not in the way. I can't see it on mine, but good.
They can't see your control panel, so we just see your full screen of your PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're good.
Okay. Well, let's move to the next slide. Oops. Went too fast. There we go. Okay, so I talked about having a positive attitude. Now your persona starts with you. And I've broken the word you down to 3 other words. You actually stands for your own uniqueness. Remember Brandy that I told you about earlier with the tattoos and the piercings? And Brandy was a perfect example of the U acronym, your own uniqueness. Brandy didn't try to be anybody else but herself. And even though we have mentors and we have people that we strive to be, every single person on this call, on this webinar, everybody has a strength that is unique, or a positive, a benefit to who they are, a talent that's totally unique to them, a special way of doing something, but you have to hone in on it, and you have to figure out what that is. And because you look a different way, you walk, you talk differently from everyone else, well, unless you're an identical twin, but even in that case, even identical twins have totally different personalities, and your personality is what is going to set you apart. In marketing and branding and in business, people call it differentiation. What makes you different from the next person? What makes Nike different from Converse? Why do I like Nike? What's the differentiation? I like it because I think the shoe is sleeker. I like the advertising. Years and years ago, they started using prominent athletes to promote their brand, and I connected because Michael Jordan at the time was great. He was at the top of his game, and I wanted to be at the top of my game too, so I had an emotional connection to the brand. That was their differentiation. So what is your differentiation? What is it about you that makes you unique? I want you to you got that thinking cap on, jot down, what is it about myself that makes me special, unique? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a technical skill. Yeah, you might be great at hair coloring. You might, be an awesome cutter or whatever it is that you do. That's not necessarily what I mean. What is it within your personal characteristics that makes you different? Makes you different. And not everybody's strength is always a positive. And let me use, I mentioned Tabitha from Tabitha Takeover a few minutes ago. And she's a great example of your own uniqueness. When she was initially on the television show where she won, Sheer Genius, that was the name of the show, she came across as a bit hard to get along with. y'all know the word that I won't say, out loud on this webinar because Jenny would kill me. But she was kind of a person that you kind of really didn't like. She was tough. She was hard-nosed, and she was about her business. Do you know that out of all of those contestants, even if Tabitha hadn't won, do you know that they probably would have picked her up anyway? She was marketable. Why was Tabitha marketable? Because she was herself. She had a brand. I don't know if that was truly her, but when she got on that show, that's who she was. She was a tough-nosed stylist who knew her stuff, who wasn't going to take any flack from anyone else. But because of her own uniqueness, it worked for her brand. Now, she has her own television show, and she's out and she's marketing herself, and as that tough personality who's not going to take any flack. She's almost like the Gordon Ramsay of the beauty industry. But it's a great example of being yourself, your own uniqueness. So write down something that makes you unique. What makes you different from your friends, from your sister or your brother or your friend or your colleague or your manager? What makes you different? What makes your business different from another business? But there's something within you that's special. That's how we were all formulated. So your own uniqueness. Now, if you're having trouble, because many of us do have trouble thinking about things, thinking about ourselves in that way. But I tell you, successful ones who are really successful, they're able to roll out these positives and their own uniqueness at the drop of a dime. So think of it this way. It's called the 3 C's. You are made up of your character, your communication, and your confidence. And I like to think of your character are beliefs and values and life lessons, things you learn growing up. That builds your character. I can remember being in 1st grade, and I feel so bad about this to this day. And I was always taught to be honest and to get along with everyone. But I also knew that my parents expected me to make great grades. I went into this class, and 1st grade, and greater than, less than. Remember the value, how you would have a 3 and it would be like less than, and you have the 5 on the other side? Well, I didn't get that. I never understood what they were talking about because I got in the class like in the let's say October, so I missed like a month of school. But anyway, this boy sitting next to me knew, and we were able to grade our own tests. He graded himself, and he got all of the answers right, and I graded my test, and I got maybe 5, 6, or 7 out of 10 incorrect. And the teacher was walking around, and while she had her back turned, I stole his paper. And I told my parents this about, and I mean, he cried crocodile tears, and he told on me, and I lied, and I said, no, I didn't. I didn't steal his paper. No, I didn't. I feel so bad. I said, he probably hates me to this day. I said I was going to look him up on Facebook, but that was out of character for me. I knew better. I shouldn't have done that. Felt bad about it, and I didn't steal anybody's paper from that point forward. But I'm just saying that I was not taught that way. Those weren't my values. That's a life lesson. And to see him in such pain and hurt, and it still bothers me today, and I'm a grown woman, that was totally out of my character. So your character is a part of the 3 C's. Your communication, how one expresses themselves and relates to others. How you communicate, how people relate to others is how communication styles are determined. I bet you can remember being in school. Different teachers had different styles of communication. Different beauty professionals have different styles of communication. So what are your 3 C's? And last but not least, confidence. We talked briefly about confidence earlier, but confidence it's an internal ranking system. Many times, have you ever heard the slogan, fake it before you make it? I used to not like that. But over the years, I've determined that there might be a little bit of truth to that. I have seen with the internet, social media, and interactive media, how people who may not be as confident as we think they are have promoted themselves in a particular way and have become big brands because that internal ranking system, it's almost like they faked it. Their brand or their persona was bigger than what it actually was. And they're beginning to get followings and notoriety. Many times, even if our confidence level is not high, you can't expect to grow and automatically be confident. There is a certain level of fear that comes into play. You can have fear with learning a new technique. You can have fear about taking on a new position. All of those things come into play, but confidence is something that is a cycle. You never stop building your confidence, because if you are progressing and you are growing within the industry, then you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. And you have confidence because you're comfortable with who you are. You're comfortable with doing a particular technique. You're comfortable with doing a particular type of hair. Step out of that comfort zone and feel a little uncomfortable. Go into an area where you're not quite that confident, and that's how you can build confidence in additional areas and become more successful. So remember, as your confidence is like a barometer inside of you. And if you're always confident each and every day, which many professionals are, then you have to ask yourself, am I growing? And what am I doing to move myself to the next level? So ask yourself those things. But you, going back to your own uniqueness, you have to realize that you yourself have 3 C's. And that's your character and your communication and your confidence. Another one of the key factors, the first key factor was having a positive attitude. The second key factor that we talked about was your persona. Then we moved on to your own uniqueness. The third concept that I want to talk to you about is your industry knowledge. There is a charter school group, that's a tongue twister, called KIPP. And the first 3 letters is KIPP, but the first 3 letters stand for knowledge is power. And knowledge is power. Putting that knowledge to use is like dynamite. So your industry knowledge is a part of your brand. It's kind of hard though now, because it's hard, but yet it's easy. It's difficult because clients can know more about a specific product, about a specific technique. They can know more than you know with the push of a button. They can know it quickly. It's difficult. You have to stay on top of your game. You have to. You have to make sure that you put in your budget every single year to attend X amount of training classes and shows. I don't care if it's you actually shadowing at a different professional organization. It could be a salon, it could be a nail spa, it could be whatever it is, but you need to shadow and to build your industry knowledge so that you will know what clients are actually talking about. You'll know how to do some of these techniques and not staying within your comfort zone. So I put up 4 different areas. Let's start with the bottom left-hand corner with organizations. There are multiple organizations that can help you to build your industry knowledge. And by you actually just attending this webinar, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal that you care enough about your pursuit in professionalism that you've actually logged on to learn more about building and imagining and having that brand and that career that you want. So organizations like PBA and different associations, just like the one that you're like this one, have classes, have shows. Attend them. Attend more webinars. If you want to, for example, be an educator for a company and you want to do something to supplement your income from behind the chair, check out Toastmasters, Toastmasters International. There are hundreds of different organizations that can help you to increase your industry knowledge, but you have to take advantage of it. Magazines. How many magazines or online subscriptions do you have? Some of them are free. Some of the online magazine subscriptions are free, but Old Faithful is you always have to have at least one or two at your fingertips so that you will know what the clients are asking about and know the different styles. Do you know that September is the biggest? I love September magazine issues. It's the fattest, the largest issue, because September sets the trends for the entire year. If you go out today and you get the InStyle September issue, I promise you it's fatter and thicker, it's got more ads and more everything in it, more styles, more celebrities than August, than July. I always get three. I get Allure, and I'll get InStyle, and I'll get Modern, and for Modern Salons, and I'll also get Vogue. I love those because they set the trends, and they'll have sneak previews of what's going on in Fashion Week. I know Vogue always does. For Fashion Week in the UK, London Fashion Week, which generally happens in September, and then I also have some information about upcoming fashion events, because fashion and beauty are so closely related. So make sure that you log in and you check out the different types of magazines, and don't just look at the pictures. Read the articles. They're phenomenal articles, success stories, and ways to improve your businesses just simply by reading those magazines. And you also want to make sure that you can branch out and look at other types of magazines. Read the franchise magazines. Read Time. I even read as much as you possibly can. I even read the Delta magazine in the back of the seat on the Delta airplane every time I get on one. They have some great articles. Many of them sometimes have even information about the beauty industry. So the more you know, the more powerful you will be. Again, shows. We talked about shows, beauty shows, fashion shows. Attend the classes there, and you'd be surprised what will happen if you even ask to volunteer at some of these shows. The next thing is to be knowledgeable about your tools, the products, and trends. There are certain trends when it comes to tools nowadays. So you want to make sure that you stay abreast of the different technology and why this technology will work well or doesn't work well on a particular type of hair, using a particular type of product. Educate yourself. Be specific. Does anyone have any questions so far? Are we still doing okay?
We have not had a single question come through, which is actually very surprising. So if you have questions as we go, in your control panel on the bottom right-hand section, you'll see a section that says questions. Feel free to type those in, send those to me. I'm catching those. So if you have questions or comments or anything, feel free to hop on and share those.
Okay. Oh my goodness, the time is moving. Let's see. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Well, actually, let's go back. So we've recapped so far that the 4 key factors in you building your personal brand, and for those of you who signed in on late, we're talking about branding because the title of today's presentation is Imagining. And in the beginning, you all had a vision because I had you do a little bit of daydreaming. So I want you all to bring that image back. Now, that image where you closed your eyes and you thought about being successful in your career, I want you to think about it being successful and really having a brand. Really having a brand, really having your positive attitude shine through, your persona is shining through, you're equipped with the industry knowledge, and also we're going to talk about dreams. But what if you just had those 3 things in place? How powerful, how much more powerful would you be? Just with a positive attitude each and every day. You honed in on your persona, your 3 C's, your specific unique quality, and you actually took those principles of marketing, just like companies do, and you pushed forward in your industry knowledge. And when I wish I could point, maybe I can. Pointing at your persona here, once you get your persona and you really understand your positive characteristics, or in Tabitha's world, we would think that her characteristics were negative. Even if you might think it's negative, it's unique to you, it's different. How can you establish a presence with that? What can you do on social media, interactive media, your business cards, in your workspace every day to promote who you are, the brand that you represent? And if you're working for another company, what can you do to mesh your persona with theirs? How can you shine where you are? And your industry knowledge. If you had all those 3 things working together, how much more powerful would you be? I think you would be in a tremendous, tremendous state. Many of us have great dreams. I am a dreamer, dreamer, dreamer. I mean, I can dream up some fabulous, fabulous things. You know, I wish I could dream up everything I dreamt that was positive, because I have some crazy dreams too, especially when I eat late at night and I have all that heavy food on my stomach. But sometimes I have great dreams and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even want to wake up. But we also, we have to balance the two, but how do we actually turn our dreams into reality? Well, you kind of have to make your dream a goal. And I think that dreams are goals, especially our daydreams. They're goals of ours, but many times we're kind of afraid or ashamed or skeptical or have negative views about what it is that we really want to do. And we're doubtful. We're doubtful to even make that dream a reality. But just like children who think that they can fly and think that they can do all these things, dreams can come true. I think of the Wright brothers. Can you imagine? They were probably kids running off the roof of homes and jumping, saying, I'm going to fly one day. People, their parents probably thought they were just crazy as they could be. And then they took it up a little higher and maybe started jumping off of out of trees, and then they tried cliffs until they created an airplane and actually flew for the very first time. It's because people dare to imagine the impossible that we're able to live the lives that we live today. Why can't you be that person? Why can't you live the life that you want simply by your dreams? So a dream is broken down in this way. First, in order to make your dream come true, it has to be detailed. detailed. What do I mean by detailed? That means you have to do some work. You have to write down exactly what your dream looks like. If you're a visual person, perhaps you want to draw it out. Perhaps you want to make a dream board by simply tearing out pictures of magazines or using Pinterest. I have a Pinterest board where I have many different boards, and it's can be used for planning, but it can also be used as personal dreams and goals. It could just simply be you cutting out words. It doesn't have to actually be a picture, but whatever it is, it has to be detailed. It definitely has to be detailed, meaning specific and something that you can actually get a hold to and look at and go back and review. Okay? The next one, reasonable. It has to be reasonable. And this is what I mean by reasonable. An unreasonable dream for a hairstylist who wants to own their own salon would be, I want to open my salon on the moon. That is unreasonable. Or, for example, an unreasonable dream is something that's just impossible to attain in the time frame that you've actually set. Okay? So make sure that your dream is actually reasonable. It's feasible. Okay? Doesn't mean that I have to believe that it's reasonable, but you have to believe it's reasonable. It can't just totally be impossible. Okay? Because if you put a salon on the moon, I mean, right now, today, you know, maybe 30 years from now, it could be possible. We could really be living like the Jetsons. But as of right now, even if you did have a salon on the moon or establishment up there, who's going to come? Who are going to be your clients? Just keep in mind, it won't be me. Not right now. But the third thing to make your dream a reality is it's got to be exciting. If it's not exciting, how are you going to want to continue with it? Your dream has to get you pumped up. It has to make you smile. It has to make you eager to wake up early before work and work on it. It's got to be exciting to you. It's also, your dream has to be action-oriented. So actually writing down action steps, writing on top of that dream board that you created on Pinterest, or a physical actual dream board that you have where you've torn out magazines or you sketched out different ideas. You want to make sure that you have action steps. And action steps means that you or you've delegated someone to do X, Y, Z. There are people that you might have to email, books that you may have to read, research that you have to do in order to accomplish a particular action step. So D, detailed, R, reasonable, E, exciting, and A, action-oriented. M means that it needs to be measurable. Okay? Putting a time frame on it. In 2 months, or on September 18th, 2014, I will XYZ, or I would have done XYZ. Make sure that it's measurable. Because if you don't put a time frame on it, you don't set deadlines, it's going to be even that much harder to accomplish it. When we give ourselves deadlines, we become responsible and we are accountable for our actions. That's making sure that we're going to accomplish something and that we're very serious about making our dream a reality. And S stands for seen. Is there anybody on the call who did not see themselves being more successful than where they are today? You got to actually see yourself doing it. See yourself being successful, more successful than what you already are. Because there's always room to grow. There's always room to grow. So you've got to be able to see yourself, visualize yourself. I use the example of Michael Jordan, and I was reading an excerpt of one of his books, and Michael Jordan said that before every game, he would sit in the locker room and he would go through the motions of playing, and he would visualize himself scoring 35 points a game, 40 points a game, 45 points a game. He would visualize himself doing a slam dunk before he got out on the court to warm up. I think that's amazing. And visualization is key. If you can't see yourself actually being successful, then it's going to be even that much difficult, because seeing yourself or not seeing yourself, let's start there, not seeing yourself shows unbelief. You've got to believe in yourself first. You've got to imagine it yourself first. Nobody's going to be as excited about your dream and your success than you are. So see yourself and make your dreams a reality. So you've got to brand your dreams. Okay? Now, the next slide, let's go back to the beginning really quickly before we get to this last slide, because I have a few more minutes. And I want to talk to you, just a quick recap, okay? Because I've got some more information for you. So we talked about why branding is important. It's important because it helps to develop positive communication skills. It helps you to gain loyal clients, gain a competitive edge, and it helps to build your confidence. Slide number 2 was the thinking cap. Okay, the 4 key factors again are having a positive attitude, honing in on your persona, having your industry knowledge, and dreams. Let's go back to your persona. This seems to be my favorite area. Many people think that industry knowledge is what's going to carry them to greatness and help you get there faster. There's not a quick fix. Everything happens in its own time, and not everyone is going to be as successful as they want to be as quickly as they want to be. But with your persona, I want to share with you a term. It's a marketing term, and it's called an eponym. Many of you probably haven't even heard of the term, but you actually do know what it is. An eponym is something that is a brand name that we use every day for a common product. A brand name that we use every day for a common product or service. So for example, when you want to find something that you need information on, you want to look it up on the internet, what do you often say? Oh, just Google it. Google it. I can't tell you how many times I've said that or I've heard it. But I could actually be on another search engine site. I could actually be on AOL, or I could be on YouTube, or I could be on Yahoo, and I would still say Google it. Google has become what is called an eponym. Okay? Another one, a simple one, Kleenex. Kleenex, it's not Kleenex, it's facial tissue. People call Puffs Kleenex. Kleenex is a brand name. I live in Atlanta, the world of Coca-Cola, the home of Coca-Cola. Actually, I could probably look out my window and see the world of Coke, not too far from where I'm located right now. But Coke is actually a brand name. But many people, when they go and they order a drink and they say, give me a Coke, when really they just want a carbonated soda or a carbonated beverage. Those are organizations whose personas are so strong that they've become eponymous with that particular product or service. So how do you do that? How could I say someone's name and it become eponymous with whatever I'm talking about? What is it about you that, or say Janine, that's my name, is Janine. So when I say the word Janine, what is it that I can do to make people know that, oh my gosh, she gives great education? What is it? But that's how you have to think of yourself and your persona, as just like a company that's done so well that now we use that brand name every single day. Now, many of those companies were first to the market, the first thing on the scene, the first big brand. Many of them have billions of dollars to spend in marketing efforts to push and push and push and get in the face of the public. We don't have that. Let's be honest. We don't have that type of money, but what we do have is a thinking cap. And what we do have is this information that's going to catapult you if you actually use it and dig deeper into it. So make sure that you do a little bit of research if you're interested on different brands. I'm a firm believer that your dreams can come true, but one thing that we're missing in our beauty industry are the business skills we need in order to imagine and make our dreams become a reality. The next thing that we talked about was your own uniqueness, being uniquely you, and figuring out what it is about you that's so great. The 3 C's, your character, your communication, your confidence. Your industry knowledge was one of the 4. Get that industry knowledge. Knowledge is power. And keeping that positive success visualization in your mind. And remember to brand your dreams. They need to be detailed, reasonable, exciting, action-oriented, measurable, and seen. Well, I'm almost out of my time, but I just want to tell you that I truly, truly enjoyed today's webinar. And if you want more information from me, the name of my company, again, is Persona Market. You can get to my website, personamarket.com, and you can check out videos. I also have a book entitled Industry Insight 101 Top Beauty Careers. So if you're interested in expanding where you are and growing, and you want a great read that has success stories of 19 beauty industry professionals and room for you to write your own success story, please log on to my website, personamarket.com, and purchase a copy of the book. It's really good. I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. It's really good. I went into a beauty school and I actually saw it highlighted in a couple of the students. They ran up to me and showed me that they had read it and they loved it and they highlighted it. I almost cried because for a student to do that, first of all, a beauty industry student to crack open a book that they don't need to pass state board with was phenomenal. But again, I'm C. Janine Fulton, and you can get to me at either cjanine.com or personamarket.com. The book is $25, and it's been a pleasure talking with you today. And I believe Jenny has something else to share with you. Does anyone have any questions so far? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask that.
I have not received any other questions, which is so surprising to me. Usually we have a ton, so either you guys are being really shy or you just don't have questions. If you do, we'll give you a few minutes to just kind of send those through. Take advantage of the time that Janine has dedicated today. She's got a lot of expertise, and so definitely send your questions through. Janine, while we wait for those questions to come through, if you wouldn't mind, I'll just go over this basic information about our association. So, like I mentioned, this webinar was sponsored by Associated Hair Professionals, and we're a national association for hairstylists. And we do also support nail professionals. We have a sister association for estheticians, and we have another sister association for massage therapists as well. And through our membership, we really focus on helping you as the individual that works behind the chair day in and day out. Our entire focus is helping you on the business side of things. You've got great technical skills, and you can push your product, you can get out there, you can get clients in the door. We just help you with some of that back-end stuff that makes your life a little bit easier. So for instance, a free website through us. We are actually just wrapping up a new project where we're launching new website templates All you have to do is get on our website, you pick the template that you want in the color you want. You can customize your content, you can customize your URL, but you don't have to code a website. You don't have to build it from scratch. We make it really simple for you. And something that Janine has kind of been talking about along with branding is we've actually created these marketing toolkits so that when you pick your website template, you can also pick service reminder cards, you can pick gift certificate forms, and they're all branded consistently. So the design is the same amongst all of them. You can customize them with your logo, or you can just put your name on them. But it gives you a little bit more of like a corporate feel that's still really creative and really kind of fun and sexy, but makes you look a little bit more professional. So as a member, like I said, you get that free website through us. We give you the downloadable templates for service reminder cards, gift certificate cards. We're going to be expanding into actually building Facebook cover photos for your business page, all sorts of really good tools to help you with that. We can also help you get business cards printed, your service menus at a discount. So we help you with some of those resources. And then, like this webinar is a great example of some education that we do to just kind of stay on top of the topics that you need to learn about to help you focus a little bit more on your business and make some more money. We also have a discount program, so you can save money on everything from shears to travel to industry publications. If you want to integrate an online booking module into your website, or if you want to sell gift certificates through your website, we'll give you discounted subscriptions on those types of services. Cell phone service, if you want to take payment on your mobile phone, we have discounts for service fees. So we've got some really good stuff that can help you save some money. And then one of the things we're most well known for is liability insurance, and that's designed to protect you if a client were to sue you. If something were to happen during a service and you caused them harm, or let's say you damaged any of their goods. It's really important for you to carry that now. We have seen an increase in liability insurance claims and lawsuits in the last few years. So if you're not protecting your income, you definitely should be, especially when it's so affordable. You can become a member of our association and get all those benefits, including the insurance, for $179 a year as a licensed professional. If you're an instructor, we give you a little bit of a discounted rate at $159 a year. And if you're a student, you can get it for $45 a year. So it's a really great price, really great benefit. So I invite all of you to do a little bit more homework and join us. We're growing very quickly, and we would love to have you as a member. So if you have questions about membership, you can call us at 1-800-575-4642, or you can visit our website at insuringstyle.com. You can also respond. All the emails that you've got for the webinar have come from our email address, so you can always hit reply to those emails and get in touch with us. So, and I'm looking, Janine, it looks like we have not had a single question come through while I've been blabbering away, so I'm surprised. Okay. But with that, I say we go ahead and we wrap up the webinar. Thank you so much for a wonderful webinar. That was great information.
Well, I hope that everyone enjoyed it, and you can always reach me on social media, see Janine Fulton, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. I believe I'm Beauty Career EXP on Twitter. So if you have any questions, ask me later.
Great. And at the end of the webinar, once we close this out, there's actually going to be a survey that's going to pop up. If you all wouldn't mind taking just a few minutes to complete that survey, it would be greatly appreciated. We do read the results, and we do figure out how to, tweak things as we move forward. So hold tight for just a second, and that will pop up on your screen as soon as I click out. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you have a wonderful day.